Welcome to the introduction to chemistry and health and safety as it applies to our science. In basic chemistry, there's the two branches, organic and inorganic. In inorganic chemistry, that's the study of substances that do not burn, and organic chemistry is the study of substances that do burn. Very simple explanation. Okay. Beware of products who advertise to you that their company or products are organic, because it could merely mean they're carbon compounds and they'll actually burn. Mineral oil is a very common ingredient in a lot of cosmetics, and where it doesn't pose a problem for a lot of people, for some skin types it can be problematic. So you need to understand how to analyze the products that you're going to be working with. Our study in this industry is cosmetic chemistry, which is the third branch, and it's the study of the items and products that we're going to chemically use as cosmetologists, estheticians, and or manicurists. As in chemistry, the basic unit of the universe is the element. Okay, and the elements that we discuss basically in cosmetology, skin, and nails are carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and sulfur, because these basic elements are what the body needs to manufacture skin. Then skin in turn turns around and manufactures a hair and a nail. So for us to be healthy, we have to make sure that we're eating properly, getting enough water and getting enough rest, so that we give our body the tools it needs so that we can have nice hair, skin, and nails. The atom, of course, is the very smallest particle of that element, and it cannot be split apart or it doesn't exist anymore. The molecule, on the other hand, is two or more atoms that are united. Now, they can be simple or elemental, such as the oxygen in an oxygen tank. There are thousands of molecules of oxygen, but it's elemental because it's only one element. Okay. Then you have complex compounds, which basically form a new substance of some type. And in those mixtures, suspensions, and such, we have the different products that we use that will either create a chemical or a physical change on the hair, skin, and or nails. Now, the textbook definition of your chemical change is burning wood, which creates a whole new substance. Well, I certainly hope that none of us burn the hair or the skin to create a new substance. So that's just a little not for us. When we're talking about a chemical change in cosmetology, we're talking about taking a straight hair and making it curly, taking a curly hair and making it straight, taking a blonde hair, making it dark, taking a dark hair, making it blonde. We're talking about the chemicals that we use that alter the structure of the hair. This does not have to damage the hair. Hair can be chemically altered without damage. The example to that would be cooking a steak. If I have a steak this thick and you want it well done, and I bring it to you rare, I can take it back and recook it and we're fine. But if you have a steak this large and you want it rare and I get it well done to you, I can't undo it. Now it's damaged because it's not what I wanted. Okay, and you can never unfry chicken. So the one thing you want to make sure of is that you understand how to choose which product to put on the client's hair, skin, or nails to get the result you want. That's A plus B equals C. A is what my client has, B is what's in the bottle, and C is the result. And it's either going to be good, bad, or ugly. So before you get to that decision, you need to be able to analyze the ingredients, analyze your client's hair, analyze their skin, and be sure you're choosing the right product in the right strength for the correct amount of time to get what this client wants. So my chemical changes are not going to create a new substance. The physical change that the textbook gives you is taking water and making it ice. When you melt the ice, you have water again, and that's a little more realistic for us, because thermal hairstyling, for instance, is just a physical change. I can take straight hair, my straight hair, I can use the curling iron and make it curly, But as soon as somebody picks up a water bottle and goes, ch, my curls go back to straight. Likewise, a client who has curly hair, it can be pressed and recurled, but as soon as I take a water bottle and go ch, it's back to its natural state. So the State Board wants to know that you understand that some products are chemical changes and some products are physical changes. And within that scope, when we're doing our chemicals and such, we're working with chemical terms for State Board, as in a solute, and that's not a solute like this, it's a solute, which is a powder form like Bisquick. Okay, and then you have the solvent, which is the liquid that dissolves the solute. So we have milk. So I can take some pancake mix, Bisquick, and that's my solvent, my solute, and then I can take my milk, that's the solvent, and I have created a solution of pancake. In reverse of that, I can take my powder bleach, I can take my hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide becomes the solvent, the powder is the solute. I mix them together and I have created a solution of bleach. And so they'll ask you basically some for those terms. Now I have dilute solutions. Oh, that was a little too much hydrogen peroxide. I need to add a little more powder to get the right consistency. It can be concentrated. I don't have enough liquid in here. I need to add a little bit more to get the consistency that I want. So my solutions are things that I'm making for my skin, hair, and or nails. The basic elements now that your body needs, I mentioned carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, all contain an extra electron or proton, positive and or negative charge. And my carbon compound is +4. So in my carbon atom, I have 4 available atoms, valences that will attract a negative. So when I'm bonding, okay, I have my 2 types of bond, okay. I have a covalent, and in that covalent, they just share their electrons, okay. And I have simple and polar, okay, which would be a positive and a negative, like water, H2O. Hydrogen has 1 positive ion, but there's 2 of them, so 2 H's. Oxygen is a -1, 2. So now I have 2, so they're equal. 2 positives, 2 negatives. And I have a neutral substance. As soon as I add another atom of oxygen, I have H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide. So now I have a negatively charged product called anionic. So when you're looking at numbers 6 and 7 on your assignment sheet, a covalent bond is one that shares its electrons, okay? And the polar bond is one that is opposite. So I have the nonpolar and I have the polar. Then I have my ionic, electrical, or chemical bond. This is where my opposites attract, like ammonia, NH3. I have 3 positives, 3 negatives, 3 positives here. They connect chemically and create a new substance. Okay, so chemical bonding is something that we usually talk about in cosmetology. So knowing that, and knowing that our skin is positively charged, and our chemicals come to us either positive, negative, or neutral, now we have that imbalance. We have negative to negative repelling each other, positive to positive repelling each other, but a negative and a positive stick together. This is important when we're trying to figure out why some things take longer to work, or why they don't work at all, or we're not really satisfied with the way they worked. So understanding my bonding is really important. So why do you need to understand this? So that when something goes wrong, you can go back to your science and you can try to figure out why. An ion on number 11 just means that it's an electrical charge. So that's like me asking you, what are you having for dinner? And you say, food. Really? I think I kind of knew that. So when I say ion, okay, it's either going to be positive or negative. With the influx of our ionic tools today, don't you think you should know what that means? and how to use them effectively. Okay, all done in another class, but we will get there. So a positive ion is called a cation, and a negative ion is called an anion. And then if it's equal like water, it's not ionic. And so a lot of times when you're reading your ingredients, you'll see that on the list of ingredients it says deionized water. That means the chemist has removed those positive and negative ions. Okay, and that helps your product stay together without getting a repelling action from the other things he's putting in it. It kind of helps prolong the shelf life. I think we've all opened a jar of cream and seen water floating on top of it. Okay, they didn't deionize the water in that case. Okay, so once again, when you get into the chemistry, and we do it individually, topic on topic, skin to skin, hair to hair, etc., then it's all going to start to make a whole lot more sense to you why certain things happen. Keeping in mind now that my hair is hard keratin and my skin is soft, then I need to be sure that the chemicals I put on my hair that will alter the structure don't burn my skin. Okay, the products that I put on my skin that are going to help do whatever I want done, that I use in the proper strength so I don't get chemical burns. The State Board is very much into client protection, health, and safety. So half of this class is based on your SDSs, client protection, and the health of your client via the products that we're going to use on them. Okay, and the other half is hoping to get very good results without burning or damaging the surface that we're working on. So my two forms of keratin are soft, which is my skin, and then the hard form, which are the nails and the hair.